You know the the Seinfeld episode where man hands, where the woman has that big, and so everybody would say, that's Tefi, because my hands were really big. I stopped growing in the 4th grade. Like I've been this height since I was 9. I got my period when I was 9. Yeah.
What?
In a swamp on a field trip. Yeah, unbelievable. But everybody in my family gets it really, really early. But I had my American Girl book, so it was fine. Like I was prepared.
You knew.
I knew what to do. And then
what's an American Girl book?
The American Girl book, the body book. With the 3 girls in the towel.
I didn't grow up here, so explain to me.
Okay, yes.
You're talking about, there's the Declaration of Independence. And then there's the American Girl book.
Thank you to our sponsor, ZocDoc. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Go to ZocDoc.com/trash and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/trash. ZocDoc.com/trash. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you need for yourself. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TrashTuesday today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TrashTuesday. You guys, life's more exciting when there are peaches involved, and that's why we're brought to you by Simply Spiked Peach. Go to drinksimplespiked.com/TrashTuesday to find out how to get your hands on new Simply Spiked Peach. That's drinksimplespiked.com/TrashTuesday. This is flavored beer, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Simply Spiked Co., Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly. Simply Spiked is a trademark of the Simply Orange Juice Company. You guys, are rising prices stressing you out? If you're looking for ways to cut costs, you need Rocket Money. Stop throwing your money away, cancel unwanted subscriptions, and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/TrashTuesday. That's rocketmoney.com/TrashTuesday. rocketmoney.com/TrashTuesday.
Hello, Sluggies. Welcome to this episode of Trash Tuesday. And also, I am here on the set of Annie Wood, my new solo podcast. We have 20 episodes down. We've had amazing guests. It's been so fun. The show is growing. It's special. It's unique. And I think you guys will like it. So check it out if you haven't already. It's every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern. We love you. So come see us. You can also see me live. I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina, May 12th and 13th. If you came out to my shows in Greensboro, you're going to want to come to Raleigh too. It's going to be a different vibe. Those were wild ones. I'll be in Baltimore at Magooby's June 2nd and 3rd. I'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah, Wise Guys Club, June 9th and 10th. And then I'll be in Calgary with the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival with Andrew Schultz, August 27th. A lot more dates are being added. So go to annieletterman.com/shows. Enjoy the show.
Hi, Slugs. I am on tour. I'm going to be in Boston, New York City, Atlanta, and Raleigh. You can get tickets at EstherOnIce.com. I've been here in New York working on my stand-up. I cannot wait to have fun with you guys at these shows. I will see you. Get tickets at EstherOnIce.com. What does it tell you? American Girl dolls, you know what those are, right?
I learned when I came here, yes.
Okay, so the American Girl Corporation
I'm losing my mind.
had the wherewithal to give us this American Girl book that also, they used the branding of the dolls that we know and love, and then they taught us about our bodies.
Your boobs growing, pubic hair. It basically taught you about like it's called the care and keeping of you. And it is so cute. And on the cover, it's like 3 girls from different races and ethnicity. I think it's an Asian girl, a blonde girl, and a black girl, right? I think so. And they're like 12, and they have like the towels around them, and they have like a towel on their head, like they just got out of the shower. And then you open the book, and it's like your body's gonna change, and it's so exciting, you know? And then it tells you like this is where a tampon goes. Illustration. It was incredible. I owe my life to American Girl. I was an American Girl. I am an American Girl. You know what I mean? But I remember going through it with my mom. It created comfortable conversations. I loved it.
That is so sweet. My only knowledge about periods when I was younger is because I was an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
my mom constantly breathing down my neck, like, you're gonna peak when you get your period. Don't get your period, you're gonna peak. So when I finally got my period and I was like 13 or 14, I remember just crying my little heart out. I'm like, it's over for me. I've peaked. This is it. My athleticism.
Hope you never go
going
to
down.
period. That's what happened. Rest in peace, baby. I love you. That's what happened.
Wow, so they did this for you guys? There was this thing available? To be fair, I didn't have it. I saw it at a friend's house. So nobody really took the time to get it for me, but sounds like maybe your mommy loved you.
My mother got me a driving instructor and the care and keeping of you because she didn't want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think, like,
That's bad. That's
not at the same time. I wasn't driving at 9 and I didn't get my period at 16. You know what I mean? But I think there was just things that she felt like the book and somebody else could do better. And then if I had questions. But my mom was also somebody who was like super scientific. So I asked her to the point where it would turn you off from it. She's so smart. I would say, like, Mommy, how are babies made? And she goes, when the sperm enters the egg. And I go, oh, what the fuck? I thought it was sex. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So she would always answer honestly, but I just think that like whole hand holding thing, she didn't want to fucking do it. You know?
I like that. She was busy. She had things to do.
She entrusted in other people, and I think it worked out really well, you know? So like when I got my period, I was like, I need a fucking tampon. And Mrs. Campos is like, what'd you say? I'm like, a tampon, a regular, please, stat. You know, like I knew what to do or whatever, but why would you talk about this?
You feel like someone that always knew what to do. Have that energy.
I know. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way, which is I failed or embarrassed myself terribly, and then I learned what to do. If you need to, I still don't know where the dental card is for your health insurance. I can't find it on the website. That's one thing that I like.
I don't think anyone knows where that is.
I just go to the
I know that I pay for it, and I let them pull up my records at the dentist. I'm like, look.
Is it real?
I don't think they have
They
the
barely cover
physical cards anymore.
It's a scam. Maybe you get 2 teeth cleanings a year, but there's fine print.
Of course I do.
I am of the very lucky few select people in this world that gets to be a mutual friend with Tefi on TikTok.
Oh my God. I was like, what?
And so I get to randomly see when I scroll my FYP these videos from her that are like, hey, we're all feeling kind of right
my
now.
friends only posts.
Her friends only posts are like, they've given me so much confidence, motivation. Like, do you know that the life you juice and pump into that app?
I saw a bunch of people posting about like, are people's views down? Or like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like don't fucking stop doing it because the views are down. Who gives a fuck about views? You know what I mean? Like, so I just was like, you know, I follow you because I like you. So maybe somebody just needs to. There's so many videos sometimes that like that get like minimal views. I think like my mom and her assistant watch and they're like, oh, and then they close their phone. And I'll be on the street and somebody will be like, that video you did was so funny. And I'm like, thank you.
Right, and you think no one saw it.
And it's not true. So like, I think the problem with like social media too is that especially platforms like TikTok, incredible. TikTok takes care of their creators in so many ways, but you can get a video that gets, I mean, we've all had it. It gets 5 million views. And then the next one is like 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's that mean girl group chat that you're in without knowing. It's like all 4 of them being like, loser, loser. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm in those. I know I'm in those.
Yeah, wait, I thought I was the only one that daydreamed and fantasized about all the people talking shit about me in a group chat.
But you probably fantasize about when you're like using your vibrator. Like, it gets you off. You're just like, yeah, you fucking hater.
We were just talking about this on the last episode of Rick Glassman. Like, I'm anti-vibe.
What's
I'm
that?
anti-vibrator.
She doesn't.
I am.
She's trying to lower her baseline tolerance to get off.
Yeah, so like
No.
last
What?
night, Tefi, I'm telling you, under 6 seconds, I barely touched my own pussy with my own hands. I'm like, whoop, and I was there, done, easy peasy, rolled over, went to bed.
Then what's the point?
Of anything?
If you're not doing that, what's the point? The Lord gave it to you. And he gave us peace. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Have you watched Pen 15?
Well, favorite.
It's like looking in a mirror when I watch a fucking show. When she starts humping that pillow, I'm like, I was the family Pomeranian that was. Absolutely.
I didn't hump things. I made things hump each other.
Oh yeah.
And so like my dolls would
Like
just
Barbie.
yeah.
You know, and you don't understand. It's so crazy because I don't think I understood truly what sex was until I was still maybe. But I feel like I had to be like 13, 14 for me to like really wrap my mind around like what. If you think about it, it's very disgusting.
It's so when you learn what it is, you're like, it's that?
You know?
Ew. No.
And then you're doing it and you're like, this rocks. But I feel like for the vagina,
We call it a panini press.
yeah, I call it a badge.
I call it non-bread.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Non is cute.
Non is a cute one. Your vagina, I think
Bikini in a bottle.
I think it's like such a gift. You know what I mean? And like to not take advantage of her. You know what I mean? Come on. Anti-vibe, don't be anti-you.
But she's saying, so go ahead.
You're saying that I could still have like maximum joy that is more than the maximum joy I feel for myself alone.
I think, listen, I've talked to my friends about this too. I come in like 2 seconds. You don't have to be. You have to do a lot. Oh, external, internal.
But you don't? Fuck you both. That is so unfair. And then you're saying external, internal. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So many different ways. Yeah.
I just think about listen, my Pornhub search history is a couple who loves each other. I don't need a lot. All right? I don't need a lot. That's what I say. So there's a porn star that I think that you would love, actually. I don't watch a lot of porn, please. Like,
How do you know she would love it?
because I heard the last episode and I was like, you know what I mean? Well,
A Nazi?
yeah, the Nazi. I can't. I have to have you say it first. But I was like thinking about it today, and I heard that this morning, and I was like, there's this one dude that I saw somebody tweet about years ago, and they were like, does anybody watch Owen Gray? Do you know Owen?
Oh yes, of course.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, he's great.
So I searched him, and there's all these like actors or whatever. I'm like, okay, I got to go to the hub. I never go to the hub. I can use my old noggin, all right? I'm a creative bitch. And so I was like, let me go to the hub, and I searched Owen Gray. It's this guy. He's tall. He looks dead. He's so skinny, covered in tattoos. He makes eye contact with these girls and holds their heads, and his dick is the size of my arm. And he is like, does that feel good? Do you like that?
That's
I had to turn it off because I had to turn it off because it's what she thinks is happening with the vibrator. I will never enjoy sex again if I keep watching him. What she thinks is happening with the vibrator is what would happen if I kept watching Owen Gray. It would take the joy out of it.
That's called, right?
to you now, just from you reenacting what that is.
Wait, the last guy that I was with, he used to call them intimacy boners, where he would get blood flow if I would be affectionate or vulnerable. He would be like blood flow, and he called him intimacy boner.
Oh my God. But that means, what was his childhood like?
Sexual trauma.
Oh my.
Wait, really?
Or like nobody ever showed him kindness.
Maybe.
I have that.
Call him. No, I'm just kidding.
Esther.
No.
Well, I have like no one met my emotional needs. So like if someone is
You're engaged though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, okay.
But as a child, like if nobody talks to me, Dave will often be like, you're like a little girl who no one spoke to. Like that's the energy I bring to the table. So I'm like, talk to me, look at me. Hi, come play with me.
But you don't like being held.
A lot of people don't.
It's, you know what it is being held is so hypersexual to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like hand holding or any kind of physical touch.
Like if I laugh and I like grab your wrist.
It's
like I do that a lot. Like I want to pat.
Me too.
Yeah. And something's embarrassing, I have to touch
I love
somebody.
that. But like touch is so
Sensitive to you.
it's so much that like when I moved to LA and people just casually were hugging each other left and right, I was like, whoa, I can't, that's like too much for me. But I like it too much almost. Like I need it. So I can't. Does anyone follow?
Yeah, like you yearn for it, but it's something that also makes you uncomfortable.
It only makes sense to me coming from an intimate partner.
Really?
Yes.
I think touch is, I grew up in like a multi-generational household, so it's like you almost like have to be okay with a certain level of like people around you and touching.
Yeah, we don't have personal space in my house either.
Yeah.
It's like,
so it's disposable for me. So like when I touch somebody, like it could be misconstrued as. I think I had a huge argument with a comic once because he was like, well, when you first met me, you were like very flirtatious. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
And I said,
wish I was.
Yeah.
I wish
a
I was.
hug. And I had fake titties at that time. I don't have them anymore. But he was like, yeah, you pressed your boobs against. I'm like, dude, it was a hug.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean I existed?
Yeah.
Tefi activated.
Oh my God. And that's because when I moved to New York, so in Miami, from the time you're in elementary school, when you see your friends, you give them a kiss on the cheek. Like what it could be a class of 32. Guess how many kisses you're giving out? And to the point when if you don't like somebody, you skip them, and it's beef. It's a big fucking deal. So like I even like a week ago, I saw this bitch that I can't fucking stand, and she's a fucking weirdo. But my friend was like, you have to say hello to her. I'm like, then I'm not doing the sound. I'll go, and that's also beef. But to that point, so when I moved to New York. And people were like, did you flirt with my boyfriend? I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you kissed him hello. And I said, I acknowledge nobody wants your man, bitch. Nobody wants your man. You two can go enjoy J. Crew together. You know what I mean? Like, please, nobody wants your man, bitch. I acknowledge his existence and you should be fucking grateful. Because, okay. Oh no, she likes Brian. I've never liked a Brian. You're good. You're good, bro. You know what I mean?
What is a name that will get you going?
A name? Like an enemy's name?
No, like if you don't want to fuck a Brian, you want to fuck an Alex, a Jason.
Well, Jason Momoa, what's up? A name that I like Spanish names. I like Spanish names. I like Santiago.
Santi is such a hot boy.
Javi.
Javi is a super hot boy. He's thick-butted name. Thick-butted boy.
Baseball butt.
I love baseball body.
Oh my God, baseball players are the hottest of all.
Because they have sometimes a little belly.
I love a belly on a man.
Me too.
Don't take away the when I see men like working out, I'm like, don't go too hard. I call it the bell. Let's keep the bell ringing.
Agree.
All right? We need a good old belly on that.
Have you ever been with a chubby boy, like a real chubby boy with a big gut?
Oh,
when they have sex with you, their belly hits your clit. So I know this is a strange thing to say, but my ex is a 5'4" Korean man with a big belly.
Thank you for doing that.
He used to make me come really fast because his belly would hit my clit.
I love that fucking belly. The belly does things for me that I can't even explain to you. With my exes, I used to stand behind them and they're like, they're probably going to hear this and be like, I'm chubby. You're a chubby motherfucker. I would stand behind them and walk behind them like prom pose, just on their ass, on their fucking belly. And I've been with fitness dudes too. You're working out on vacation. Get it together. Or I dated one guy that only ate boiled chicken.
And broccoli.
And you.
Yeah.
So one, sick. You're farting 24/7. Rock and roll. Two, we can't do anything fucking fun. I think the final straw for me was we went to like a really nice restaurant in the city. I forget where it was. The word Gotham is coming up for me, but I don't remember. It's a really nice restaurant, beautiful chandelier, like I call it like a real New York night. You know what I mean? Like it's like you go to the bar with your friends, you go to this nice restaurant, maybe later you'll do karaoke. Like we were having a New York night. We go to this like restaurant that I've always wanted to go to. Like this was like 10 years ago maybe. And he brought his food. Fuck, I'd rather shit out a pine cone than hear the sound of the plastic container opening.
Oh, it was multi-tiered.
Oh my God. No, it was like it was like Chinese food takeout, the box.
But you know what?
They bring a thermos to you with his
No.
pre-workout.
No,
you guys.
Just ice water is fine. Extra lemon, please.
Do we need to send love though? Because that's full eating disorder.
Oh, he has an eating disorder.
That is like sad and I feel bad.
I'm not sending it.
But it is such a turn.
I'm not sending him love because
Great.
Because the other day, fuck this guy. But yeah. Fuck those dudes.
And you know what? They're angry when you are just in full, when you're fully keto acidotic and you're just subsisting on broccoli and chicken, you're angry.
I had no idea that keto made your pussy smell.
It also makes your breath smell.
I had no idea. So I bought a keto book, and one of the people, like I was working in an office, and my coworker was like, girl, I had a keto. I just bought one and it was on my desk and I was like in a Zoom, and or Skype. This is pre-COVID, so who fucking knows what I was doing. We saw each other's faces. And then I closed the laptop. She's like, I saw you got a keto book. And I was like, yeah. She's like, don't fucking do it. My friend did it. And she said, her pussy smelled like rotted meat.
really difficult to find a doctor, even more so to find a doctor that you trust, someone who has good bedside manner, someone who you feel absolutely safe with. And if you've been stewing about a health problem you've had, ZocDoc is the answer. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. I'm telling you guys, like, if you need a dermatologist, an OBGYN, if you have an ear infection, anything at all, ZocDoc has it. No more doctor roulette or scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor you haven't met yet. Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient reviewed and fits their needs and schedule just right. Go to ZocDoc.com/trash and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/trash. ZocDoc.com/trash. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Therapy has been an indispensable part of my life. What I like about BetterHelp too is they have a journal feature. So in between my appointments with my therapist, if I'm having heavy thoughts that day, but let's suppose it's 5 days before my next appointment, I'm able to write these thoughts in my journal, and I can discuss them with my therapist on the date of my appointment. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TrashTuesday today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TrashTuesday.
Like
Even nursing school too.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
But it's almost like if you smell anybody on even like DKA, which is diabetic keto acido, there is a scent there. Like I can't imagine. It's floral. It's like floral, but it smells.
What's in the box?
It's this kind of floral rot.
Oh, when you know you have to throw away your roses.
Yeah, but then you like something in your trash is really bad, but someone is coming and you don't have time to throw your trash, so you just light a candle. Like, and it's a floral candle, so it's a combination of like, oh, you now have just floral rot.
Somebody said, what did Tefi's pussy smell like? And they said, you know when you know something in your garbage, I would die. Oh my God. I'm going to pop an extra probiotic when I get home. I would die.
Because I got swept by the whole Atkins craze, which is just about the same as keto, right? Keto is just rebranded Atkins.
It's like red bean butter and prayer.
Yeah, can't say that my pussy was in its prime. You know,
we were prime puss.
And we weren't.
We were not.
Not even mid.
No.
I don't believe. I know the science is saying what it's.
You know the science is there.
I just don't believe. I don't believe in pussy smelling bad ever. I just that's my political.
Esther, but have you been BV is BV. There's a reason you have you have a nose, and there's a reason why your nose takes in smells. It's supposed to inform you about the world around you. It's supposed to inform you about disease, X, Y, and Z. So if you have an overgrowth of bacteria in your vagina, you should be able to say, hey, something is wrong. I'm not going to be like,
something is on awry.
Yeah.
You know who else says, I know the science is there, but I don't believe it? Evangelical Christians.
Okay.
I want to sit with that for a second. Don't be the evangelical pussy wart.
And Esther, bad pussy smell like I've had bad. You know, my shit's gone bad. Only a few weeks ago, I told you, I was like, look, the BCC, I don't know if it's a BCC, but something is wrong.
We got a yeasticle on my
And then it was because I used an old, like I had just dusted off, like I found old lube that I was like allergic to.
Please don't use lube that you have to blow like a library book, like Page Master.
Well, our Annie, who is the third girl on our show, couldn't be here. She basically says, like, you can't have rollover lube.
No.
Can't use lube from
They're not
ex.
in it.
And I think that's what I was cursed with. I used it from an old relationship with a new boy, and God struck me down.
He said, silly goose.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. No, sometimes I do. Like when I was younger, my anxiety was way worse. You know what I mean? Because the idea that my body, like the osmosis Jones, that like the idea that when I went to sleep, that my body continued to like, my heart would beat without my permission or my supervision freaked me the fuck out. So I would have these panic attacks because I would try to control my heart rate and I figured out that I couldn't. So like the vagina, sorry, the technical term, the vagina, when figuring out that it has like a mind, or like the gut brain even, that like these are all little neighborhoods and they all have their own HOAs. Literally, it drives me fucking nuts. It drives me fucking nuts.
Do not like that you don't have control over it. Like that it's existing on its own.
I feel like if I was in control, I could do a stellar job. You know, I could do so much better than it's doing right now.
You're reminding me of one of my biggest anxieties, which is like, swallowing. So like this is something that has
Did we all swallow
my whole life? No, but you can't do that after I think the third or fourth time. You cannot make yourself swallow, because swallowing is like a natural thing, or it's like a reflex basically, just like breathing is, right?
Swallow.
But that's why when in my late 20s, I was having these extreme panic attacks, and they would focus on your breath, Khalyla. I'm like, no, that is the source. My breath is the source of my anxiety because I don't trust it to do its thing. Like I don't trust it to be some like autonomic, like, thing that my body does on its own. I have to supervise it, like you said. So then I would like just be so like hyper vigilant about my breathing. So when I had to learn to meditate, you couldn't say the word
meditation changed my life. Meditation is the best thing in the entire fucking world.
Can you speak on that? Sell it to me. What do you do? Well, how long? Because are you going for like 5 minutes, an hour?
The longest I've done is 2 hours.
Wow.
Are you silent? Are you listening to something?
So when I first, and people say like I could never, I'm like, bitch, if I can, please. I'm like the road runner up in.
No, yeah.
Like, this is Gothica. this is Jim Carrey 23. Like we're good. I think there was just a point where spiritually I was in a lost place, and the idea of like downloading information was very, or like not even downloading information, but like really hearing myself, or like you can ask yourself a question and you talk back. It's crazy. But like to get to that point, I would sit with myself and I would listen to my breath. And then I think a lot of people think that it's thinking of nothing. But then somebody told me, if you have a thought, you bring it in, you look at it, because if you ignore it, it's just going to come knocking. I look at it and then I acknowledge it and then I put it away. But I imagine the white room that Squidward is running through. You know what I mean?
Love the SpongeBob reference. Thank you.
Guess my dick hard.
Same.
That's an intimacy.
Yeah.
Intimacy boner.
That's a connection.
But once I was like in that place where I was like, oh, I can welcome those thoughts or whatever, I started doing guided ones on Gaia and YouTube. And there's another app, Calm, whatever. But I started doing those, and it started with like 10 minutes. And then after the meditation, I would like journal about the things that I thought about. Or I would start the meditation with like, I would look up guided meditation, fear, guided meditation, resentment. There's one meditation that I talk about all the time, and it's about resentment, that you go into your childhood home or your childhood room. And if you walk into that room and it's not your room and it looks like something else, that means something, right? And I would go to my childhood room and it would be like concrete. I grew up in a golf course town. A lot of greenery, a lot of golden retrievers. So I was like, that's really weird. But then on the table, there's a table in the room and there's a teddy bear on it. And the teddy bear represents all the people who have hurt you, disappointed you. And you have to go up to it and you hug it. And you have to say, thank you. Thank you so much. You put down the teddy bear and you walk out the room. If you cannot walk out the room with the teddy bear attached to you, you've made resentment part of your personality. Wow. And that was the first one that I was like, this is doing something for me. Because I lie my ass off in therapy. Like,
I want to get into that.
Let's talk about it. My therapist doesn't know me at all.
That has been the biggest barrier for me, because I still, no matter what, there is still an element of people pleasing.
Oh, yes.
So even to her, I still want to be respectful. I want to be liked by my therapist. So that is something, like, I've been in therapy since I was 15 years old. And I think that I've never fully, until recently, been just the truly ratchet bitch that I am to my therapist. And I want to get there, and I'm slowly starting to get there. But there's this fear that
Shame.
yeah, it's a lot of shame that she's not going to be on my side, or like it. And we had Dr. Duran a couple episodes ago, and he was like, you are wasting your money. You are only doing a disservice to yourself. And I'm like, fuck, but it's so fucking hard
Learning about yourself at the same time, doctor.
Yeah.
Why would you lie to a therapist?
I mean, I feel like there's something. I feel like shame is a sign. You know what I mean? Shame is a sign of that I know better. I know better. And so I feel like in my mind, I'm like, I know better, and I know why I did that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, there are some things about I think I want to say the word threesome to my therapist. Susan? But, and also there's a part of wanting to be the favorite, wanting to be the best, and being like, and being someone who, the best student. I'm absorbing it. I'm getting better. And also part of me is like, I want her to feel like she's a good therapist.
Same. Oh my God.
She is. I'm just not giving her.
Thank you for saying that. Like, I feel like I haven't been able to articulate it.
Did you learn that in therapy?
Me?
That is so validating. Thank you for saying that. I'm like, you are welcome.
I hate when people therapy talk me, and that's the only jargon they use, especially when we're in a full-blown fight. And they'll say things like, I'm going to take a beat to process this emotion. I'm like, ooh, I'm about to fucking.
Oh, I know, because I locked the door. Where are you going to go, babe?
I hate or when I'm in a conversation with someone, I'm like, I just feel like your therapist told you to say that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm like, fucking be you little bitch.
The word gaslighting on TikTok is going to make me shave my head.
But that's all like just even the pseudo spirituality that has just seemed to like all of TikTok is riddled with pseudo spirituality where people are supposed to be more enlightened, supposed to be all stoic and this and that, but they're all just fucking monsters, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, truly, you found yourself?
Tefi, top 5 female pop stars of all time. Who are yours?
Pop stars?
Yeah.
Britney Jean Spears.
Thank you. That was the right first answer.
ABBA.
Oh, she's good. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's fucking doing. I'll say for me, Gaga is on the top 5. And
Gaga's number 5 for me.
Okay.
But that's out of like that's,
yeah.
you know.
I'm also putting Madonna in my top 5.
And Janet Jackson. That's it.
Ooh, yeah, Janet Jackson. We're not throwing like a Cher in there.
I don't consider Cher pop. I consider her a doctor.
A philosopher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider Cher as pop. I would consider Cher as somebody who started as like within folk, and then like power ballads and like disco, and then from that she went into like she's done fucking everything. You could say Cher could be country even.
Right.
The ability that you have to articulate Cher's discography.
I love Cher so much.
I love you for that.
Today somebody asked me if you saw someone and who would you lose your mind, like who would you be starstruck for? And I said Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama, duh, and Stevie Nicks. But I don't think I could handle Cher. I think I would hold her by the wrist and not realize what I'm doing. You know, something and like not realize it. You know,
I just saw this clip of her. Basically, it was like an old clip of why
I think
she didn't
they're
like
the coolest.
Madonna. Why she didn't like Madonna? She's just like, I just don't think she's a good person.
Oh, she was mean at this party.
Yeah.
I hate the Cher versus Madonna rivalry.
She was at an Elton John party, not an Elton John party. Whose party was she at that she was rude to? Was it a Freddie Mercury party? How can you not like?
But my
Things I just said. Insane. Have you seen when Sonny died? They'd already broken up, right? And he had a wife and children, and Cher met him when she was 16 and he was like 18, and she was like, I wouldn't leave the man alone. You know what I mean? Like my mom was like, you can't date him, and she was like, I have to be with him, you know. And that was like the reason that she became who she is, whatever. But they had they were too young and too rich and too toxic and faced with too much, whatever. It was not going to survive, whatever. When we leave, look up Cher's eulogy for Sonny. Bawling, crying. I watch that all the time. I might watch it today. It's so beautiful. The way that woman is so smart, and the way that she talks about people is a way that she meets you here. You know what I mean? I sound crazy.
No, you don't. I'm right there with you.
I know there are people that would not meet you here. You know what I mean? Like Christina Aguilera is not going to make me here.
I don't think so either.
And I hate when people say, oh, I heard so-and-so is mean. I heard Beyonce is mean. I don't give a fuck. I want her to sing. I don't want to get mani-pedis with Beyonce. I heard Jennifer Lopez is mean. It was mean to someone at Saks. I was mean to someone at Saks. They were mean to me.
Also, it's like we don't know what these women have been through and what they need to do and how they need to like get what they need done. Like I know that Nicki Minaj and her like whatever series she had,
Terrible.
she was really mean, but
Really mean.
it's like she's Nicki Minaj. I don't know.
I know a couple hotels she's banned from in Miami.
Oh, okay.
She's so rude.
That's cool.
And you know what? She's still one of the best rappers of all time. Sorry. I won't see her at the hotel though. I guess not. I see her I did see her in concert actually. She opened for Britney Spears in 2010.
Femme Fatale tour?
No,
What tour?
Circus. It was when the Pussycat Dolls couldn't.
Okay. Best favorite era of Britney.
Onyx tour.
Why is that? Interesting.
I don't know. I think it's because I just remember it so clearly. God, my Britney jean is tacky. Oh my fucking God. She has like that satin booty shorts with the ruffles and a pink satin vest with like her hand gloves. And she's like, no, but like, no, it looks like it looks like she was weightlifting. Like those kind of gloves. You know what I mean? Like when the golfers are like, don't get used to the gloves. They might hurt your golf game. You know what I mean? But I think that was like the last time that we saw her enjoy herself.
Yes.
Like really enjoy herself, where it didn't look like work. And also she masturbated on stage. The touch of my hand.
That song is so important.
It's so important.
We really don't we don't understand what she did for our sexuality.
I completely, if American Girl and Britney Spears masturbating on stage did a lot for me.
Do you have a favorite album, Britney album?
Yeah, it's probably Britney.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really relieved that you said that. That was the one. And do you have a favorite moment that turned you into a super fan? For me, it was Slave for You performance at the VMAs with the Snake.
No. Mine for me was the AMAs 2001 when she did Oops, I Did It Again, and the strip came out. Yeah.
Okay.
That was probably it for me. Or, no, I think it was watching her interviews and she snorted. I would watch like her interviews when she still had glasses on.
She's just like the rest of us.
And I'm a big snorter. I don't know. I'm sad that I said that. I'm a big snorter, but I watched her and she was so. I remember seeing her on MTV and she was doing mall shows, and it wasn't even on an elevated surface. She was eye level.
Wow, that's so sweet.
I love that. I remember MTV Diaries. You Think You Know You Have No Idea, Christina Aguilera Fighter. For that one. And 98 Degrees.
Do you remember the Christina Aguilera Kelly Osbourne rivalry?
There was.
Yes. It was, I hate
So what was it about?
Yes, that's my girl.
Are you joking? That was incredible.
I feel like I'm always going to be Team Kelly.
Kelly is a complicated girl, but you know what? I look at her parents and I said, she's doing the best she can.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
She's doing the best she can. Those parents, Ozzy Osbourne is the man that she's doing the best she can. I think she turned out the best possible way. They're fucking weird.
They're funny. They're like the Osbournes. To me, that TV show was as funny as Seinfeld. Like it was so funny and honest and real, and it wasn't even that they were like famous wacky people. They were just very much themselves and weird and funny.
I think the reality show that I remember the most growing up, was probably, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV till I was like 15.
Whoa.
So I would sneak watching The Real World, and the first Real World that I saw was Real World Las Vegas.
Oh, with Trishelle.
Yes. With Trishelle.
With the pregnancy scare.
Yes. That was an incredible time.
Great season.
Incredible time. But honestly, I think about it, putting cameras, even for Jersey Shore, putting cameras in people's bedrooms and us watching them fuck is crazy.
So good. But you know what's
so good?
So sad is like I think I was watching an episode of Married at First Sight.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
And Trishelle was in one of the episodes.
Oh,
yeah, she's like the friend of one of the guys on there, and she was just, and I'm like, Trishelle, you're such a star. Like,
Trishelle, go back to Vegas. Live your life.
Back to Vegas. Was it Danny?
Oh, I don't remember.
The guy?
I remember one of the girls that she was like a go-go dancer, and that was the first time I heard the term go-go dancer, and I thought that was my dream. to go dance in a club.
You do look like you'd probably just
That is the nicest fucking thing anybody's ever felt.
both you and Esther.
I honestly, when I think about that era too, there is this teen people, rest in peace, teen people spread that I remember I had on my table as I was sneaking watching Real World Las Vegas, and I had my finger on last channel. You know, when your parents would come in, you go last channel. And I was reading this. It's like a vivid memory in my home where I grew up. It's a spread open. It said the 7 blondes who run 2003 or something. 7 blondes who run Hollywood. And it was Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Jessica Simpson, Mandy Moore,
Thank you, God.
the Olsen twins, and Willa Ford.
Willa Ford.
How crazy is that? I will never forget those 7 because I was absorbed. The way that I was I was obsessed with it, and I wanted to be Mandy Moore so bad. I wanted him to miss me like candy. I wanted a yellow buggy. I wanted the hair flip. I wanted it all. A room of my own where I could do my music video. Are you kidding? You know what I mean?
Oh, Willa
Ford,
Willa.
Nick Carter's ex-girl.
Right. That's right. Wait a second. You guys never got into like any of the VH1 reality shows?
Are you?
Like Shot at Love with Tila Tequila?
Are you kidding me? The first bisexual reality dating show, and Sheila Tequila has me blocked on all platforms. Fuck you.
Well,
You want to talk about Nazis?
ooh, you know Tila Tequila now is very evangelical.
She's taken a turn that I have tried to step away from.
Do you know that when I just said, you want to talk about Nazis? You remember that TikTok sound that's Mariah Carey? Nobody wants to talk about 9/11 though. That's like,
Yeah.
anyway.
At Tila Tequila, what were the other ones? There was
The guy from Poison.
Brett Michaels,
Flava Flav.
Flava Flav. Oh,
They were
all of those girls were stars.
Charm School. The incredible clip where Monique is renaming people away from their Flavor of Love names, and she says, she goes, "What's your name, baby?" And she goes, "Safari." She goes, "And then we're gonna leave that ugly name behind. we're gonna name. What's your real name?" She goes, "Safari." That's one of my favorite clips of all time. Or when in Flavor of Love, when Hot says, "Everyone tells me I look like Beyonce," and I Love New York goes, "Beyonce." She looks at the Sue's camera. She goes, "Beyonce, I'm so sorry, baby." That is one of the funny. And she goes, "You look like Luther Vandross." A lot of gold. Yeah.
My actual birth mother, I think the woman who raised me the most is Lorianne Gibson on Making the Band 3, Diddy.
You don't think I go,
Boom, cack.
there's how. I love that. Making the Band. Take her make her go home, Audrey. Make her go home with Andrea.
Yeah, and your ass.
I can't pass the James cheesecake without thinking about those boys.
Dude, my friend named her daughter Andrea after Andrea because it had the U after it, right?
I would tell my friend to lie about that. Baby's named after, baby, you know who you're named after? What are you talking about, babe?
Tefi, how was Japan?
It was great.
You just got back?
I just got back, yeah.
Did it change your life?
Coachella, absolutely. I was just telling Emily, well, this is my assistant Emily, my friend, and I'm like a diagnosed insomniac, and for some reason, when I went rock and roll, babe, there's a lot of things to see on the internet.
I know. It's too fun out there.
I was not sleeping. I think I would sleep every day at like 6 a.m. and then I'd wake up at like 1. Like I would tell my team, like, please don't schedule anything before 1 because like that's when I wake up, you know? And it was driving me crazy too because I'm obsessed with productivity and I feel like I was missing out on so much. And then by the time that you're already like in the mood to start like working, it's like, 4 p.m.? It sucks. I went to Japan. I was falling asleep every night at 8 p.m.
Oh, you are speaking about this phenomenon. I tell everybody, you go one direction and it's always to Asia and you will sleep the most you have ever had. And it's like the kind of deep slumber that you will never have again, as even like the first day that you're back here. I don't know what it is, but I think there is something about like the time zones that either allow for it. Because I have my friend from New York just went with me to the Philippines right around the same time you were in Japan. And same type, she's up at 3 a.m. at the gym, such a productivity queen. She planned her own platinum wedding, like one of those, like just like insane
Type A
energy, type A. And she never gets more than like 3 hours a night of sleep. And she feels fine on 3 hours.
No.
So when we're resting in Asia.
When we went to the Philippines, she was getting a full 8 hours.
No, I've never slept like this. And I think it's also because I felt safe. I feel safe in my home all the time, but it's different. It was like different. I felt like welcome and safe. I can't explain it. There's a peace in Asia that I cannot explain. It's like a peace and like an acceptance. I can't explain it. It's like I don't know, but I was just like walking around. I had the time of my life. I never worried about my safety. I mean, Japan, like amazing. My antidepressant is illegal there. Great. I know. If you want to take your antidepressant, you have to register it. It's insane.
What are we
Especially because
Wellbutrin for life.
Lexapro over here.
Life is more exciting when there are peaches involved, and that's why we're brought to you by Simply Spiked Peach. From the makers of Simply Spiked Lemonade, Simply Spiked Peach is now available. 21 and over only, contains alcohol. What I really love about these Simply Spiked drinks is that they use real fruit juice. All flavors of Simply Spiked are crafted with 5% ABV and 5% real fruit juice squeezed then concentrated. This spring, Simply Spiked is introducing a flavor that fans have been asking for since day one, Simply Spiked Peach. You guys, it's been really warm in LA lately, and I went to the beach over the weekend, and I cracked open one of these Simply Spiked drinks, and they are so good. Did you know that there's real fruit juice in it? So refreshing. You guys, summer's coming up. Go grab you a variety pack. They have signature peach, strawberry peach, kiwi peach, and mango peach. Go to drinksimplysspiked.com/TrashTuesday to find out how to get your hands on new Simply Spiked Peach. That's drinksimplysspiked.com/TrashTuesday. This is flavored beer, naturally flavored with other natural flavors. Simply Spiked Co., Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Celebrate responsibly. Simply Spiked is a trademark of the Simply Orange Juice Company. I'm always a victim of this, that try it for free for 30 days, just enough time to try it, and then I completely forget about it. In fact, over 80% of people have subscriptions they forget about. You could be wasting money and not even realizing it. Rocket Money helps you find those forgotten subscriptions, and you can stop paying for ones you don't use. For example, I think I had like an insect finder on there for 3 years without knowing it, and I had an anime app, a streaming app that I didn't know I had for 5 years because my niece downloaded it onto my phone. This is where Rocket Money is really valuable. It helps you find these subscriptions and cancel it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily find your subscriptions for you, and for any you don't want to pay for anymore, just hit cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's that easy. Rocket Money also helps you manage all of your finances in one place and automatically categorizes your expenses, so you can easily track your budget in real time and also get alerted if anything looks off. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/TrashTuesday. That's rocketmoney.com/TrashTuesday. rocketmoney.com/TrashTuesday.
When I came back, I fell asleep at 8 p.m. when I came back. And when I came back, I've been falling asleep at 8 and waking up at 6. I'm having the time of my life. But tomorrow I go to Coachella. I know it's gonna go to shit. It's over. It's over, guys.
Well, I'm extremely underslept because I've been running off at 2 hours of sleep, because as soon as I got back here, like today, I only slept for 2 hours last night.
You napped. You just sleep. You napped.
Yeah, I napped, and I miss my Asian sleep. Like, I cannot for the life of me get my shit back together.
I'm gonna call it my Asian slumber, and then I'm gonna have to look at people and explain. It's gonna be tough.
But you know what? When they go there, or if they go there, they'll understand.
Insane. Me and my friend, we went and we were like 2 bugs in a rug, which is a disgusting term. I look at my rug sometimes, I'm like, but I like literally so cozy. I felt swaddled by Japan, swaddled like a baby.
I understand the feeling.
Did you eat anything amazing?
I ate everything. I'm an explorative eater. My friend was not. Like, I'm an adventurous eater. Like, if you gave me bark with hummus on it, I would eat it. And if you told me it was good, I'm like, I want good stuff. You know what I mean? So I'll eat something. I don't like things that are super, super fishy, but I'll only know if it's super fishy if I eat it.
Right.
God.
You know what I mean?
Well,
So-
super fishy would just kind of maybe not be as like fresh.
yeah, exactly. Or like they eat like raw squid and that gelatin, and I ate it.
Do you like natto?
Oh yeah, yes I do. Yes I do.
You're the real
Uni,
deal.
uni sometimes. Uni's like a
I say your
Cheerton. Sometimes it depends. I don't know what it depends on, but sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Well, natto is either you like it or you don't. There's no like middle ground
Yeah,
because it's slimy.
I do like it.
But it's so I don't know. It is a comfort food, but same kind of for me. Like it took me a while to get to natto, but when I got there, I got there.
When you got there, yeah, the train. It doesn't lean that
Yeah.
yeah. Once you like something, but as I get older, I can feel myself getting pickier and pickier. Like I've never been somebody who like when somebody says like, oh, but it's the texture. I'm like, I don't get that. I don't understand what you're talking about. Cooked peppers freak me out now, and I've never been. And they're so sweet, and there's
What kind of peppers?
like red, green, and yellow.
That's
peppers.
because that shit makes you gassy as fuck. I completely stay away
A
from
raw
peppers because it lights
Sweet
me
pepper,
up.
though.
That yes,
I'm not-
I love peppers, but like green, like just bell peppers. My God, I'm double down in pain. That is the most gaseous food ever. It's delicious.
As I get older, I get gassier.
Me too.
What's going on? See, you know what I mean? This is an HOA issue.
It
Who
is.
told you to do that? Who told you to do that?
Remember
Not
when
me.
you could just like eat a just massive meal before going out to the club and not even think twice about it?
Do you remember drinking?
Oh my God.
I have 2 glasses of wine, and I'm like, I'm the most rock and roll bitch that's ever lived. I'm the most rock, but then the next day, I'm like the, you know when Robin Hood is like the fox and he's pretending to be like a beggar and he has like the glasses on, you know what I'm talking about in Robin Hood?
Yes.
That's what I feel like. And
Sorry, all I could think about is like Robin Hood Men in Tights. I'm like,
oh, so good, so good, so good. So no, I'm talking about the animation.
they're real.
The animation. Yeah.
Oh, the animation.
When he, the fox.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Before we finish up here, I want to talk to you about
Finishing?
trusting. Well, not yet. Before trusting your gut, because you had a post recently on Instagram.
Yeah.
How you and I had really related to this, and I want to talk more about it. You maybe stopped trusting your gut, or you were following people who weren't trusting their gut, and then you like. Can you talk to me about what that experience was? Do you know what got in your way from being able to trust your gut, and how did you be able to get that skill back?
I mean, have you ever heard me being attracted to someone is already a red flag? You know what I mean? Like you don't trust your type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think for me, I believe when you tell me something. So if you tell me that you want what's best for me, I believe you. But what I've realized is as time went on with some friends in my life or people, they did not expect me to do well. They always expected to do better than me, and they liked it that way. So I realized as time went on that I wasn't following their good wishes. I was following someone who resented me, or somebody who looked at me and saw dollar signs. So, but these are people that, listen, a lot of people meet my mom. A lot of people don't come and eat with me and my mom. You know what I mean? Like these are people that I would take on family vacations with me. These are people who knew my family intimately. You know what I mean? And I treated people like family, and I loved them, and I feel like they made me doubt myself so much. And even relationships where I'm like, I did everything right. Like or not even right, but like I did the best that I could, and I know for a fact that it's more than enough. And this person still fucked me over, and the same with friends and same with business or whatever. So now when I talk about intuition and everything, they fucked me over. If it was in a relationship, it's for fear and it's trauma, right? And I don't want to pay for shit your grandfather did to your dad. All right? I don't want to do that shit anymore. How is it that somewhere in the past, one man didn't hug his son and now I'm paying for it? And then when it's like with business and stuff, it's greed. And greed comes from a lot of issues, and something else, and jealousy comes from, you know, all these are all secondary emotions, right? And so I'm following around these people who can't even speak to their feelings or tell me the truth about who they are. And I promise you, I'm the kind of bitch that like, if you sat down with me and you're like, listen, I'm jealous, and I need time away, I would be like, I fucking get it.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? Like, I love you. and I want to be your friend. And you know, my life isn't fucking roses either. I'm not fucking Nicole Kidman over here. You know what I mean? You know, I'm Naomi Watts. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel like I just like the sharing of it. You know what I mean? But these are also people who saw me really from like the bottom. Like these are people that like I would run to when I needed somebody. And looking back, they liked it. And I guess they didn't know how to be my friend anymore when things were going well. We only knew how to be my friend.
This is a very common phenomenon that I've heard a lot, and like I've experienced as well.
Whack bitches. It is a pandemic. Whack bitches.
It's people that like when you are having problems, and it's
the opposite of a fair weather friend. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, you're right. And it is also, it's interesting because I've extracted a lot of value from people like that because they have really helped me when I'm low. But that was never worth it, like knowing that was how they did well, or I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I absolutely know what you're saying. It because you are providing them this type of like currency that they need, like in the same way like narcissistic supply works. You are like by you being below them for however many years you were below them is supplying them with something that they need for themselves.
Right.
And when that's no longer there, you are of no use to them anymore because that supply is not there.
Yeah.
Like
so it's almost like what you having problems. They don't really like you. They like the way it makes them feel.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's like a Munchausen thing.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I have a family member that my mom's beefing with right now for that same exact reason. As soon as she saw my mom's daughters doing well, she completely, she was just like, nope. And we don't even have a relationship anymore. And before that, she was the same family member that would never miss a birthday of mine. Would always give me money, always just be like really like doting and
be that
sweet.
anymore.
But I don't. And now it's just, we're kind of in this even playing field because she makes good money, and now I treat her like an equal. She cannot stand it. She cannot bear to even look at me.
You took away her favorite role.
Right.
This is my new thing.
Right.
I'm only looking for equals in my life. I want equals. I don't want you lower. I don't want you higher. I want equals. I want to validate my experience with other equals. Like that's what's right. That's what I'm looking for.
I don't need equals. I just want to be around people who we cheer each other on.
Right.
You could be a cashier at the supermarket and you come to me and you tell me you made manager. I want to go out and pop bottles.
But I can be equals with that person as long as
it's emotional.
It's yes. Because I what sucks about the thing that you're saying and what I related to the most was like when you do put trust in people like that, you suddenly like your gut gets whacked out. Like I, for so long, realized, I wasn't even following my gut or trusting my intuition because I was trusting in other people. And this is my issue, right? Like I take responsibility that I go down paths with other people, but it's nice for me recently to step more into the role of checking in with myself. What do I really feel? What do I need?
Yeah, it's the difference between is it anxiety or is it intuition? Is it overthinking or is it my gut? And that's really fucking hard.
And sometimes your gut is not available for you in the moment, and you can dig as deep as you want. And, you know, like, at least for me, just like having been like, just having like a really like shitty childhood and whatnot, like I was just talking to Esther about this. Like I can't be present sometimes if I'm just surviving the moment. I don't have access to my gut. If I'm going through
to take care of you in that moment.
Right. It's just getting through the moment. Like my gut will show up later on. But I'm like, fuck, I need it right now. Tell me what I'm supposed to do, but I cannot for the life.
Talked about this. Pinocchio. We just talked about this.
Yeah.
That's your body taking over. When that like moment of like forgetting something or putting it away, or that moment of fear or mistrust, like is that your intuition telling you like it's bad? Or me, like forgetting, my body took care of me and helped me forget that because it was scary.
Right.
And for you, it traumatized you in a way where like if you were ever faced with that, your body's like, this is familiar, let me take care of this.
Right.
We just talked about that.
Yeah. Were we recording when we were talking about the donkeys and Pinocchio?
Pinocchio and the donkeys, it's scary and it scared a lot of children. You know what I mean?
So
but
scary.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got excited and I cut you off.
No, you didn't.
We went in a circle. It was amazing.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, I think intuition is the part of you that wants you to do well, and sometimes that's also when you overthink and it's negative self-talk. It's like, what if this goes bad? What if you fail? And I feel like that's a part of you that also loves you so much that it doesn't want to see you suffer. So it's better if you just stay home and you don't go. You know what I mean? It's better if you don't try because you could fail. And you have to look at that part and be like, I love you. I know you don't need to feel sad, but I have to do this. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel often. Like, I really do have to sit down and, like, there's a part of me that is like a runner. I run from uncomfortable things, like in the past.
Fight or flight.
When, like, my gut can sometimes tell me, or when my body takes over, it's like, get out of there. But if I stop and think, I'm like, oh, this could be an opportunity for someone to kind of put a mirror up to me and really like what I've done wrong, how can I improve? And the choice to actually say, okay, like, I'm going to hate this, but I need to hear it, and is fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's difficult. It's hard.
That mirror is a bitch.
It is a bitch.
Sometimes I say uncle. Sometimes I'm like, no,
uncle.
Something tapping out. Or like I put it down and go, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That fucking mirror is a piece of shit where you have to, relationships are mirrors. Like every time I will think I'm the coolest girl. I like a guy and I'm like, there's some unresolved drama. You know what I mean? Why am I checking him from my friend's yoga page? Why am I checking his story? He has a job. You know what I mean? Or like, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like there's parts of the mirror that go with everything. Or like my anger. There's so much of my career where I'm just like, I cannot do things so that the people that have wronged me will see it and feel bad. I cannot dedicate my success to that because then it's not even for me and it'll never be enough.
But boy, does it feel good sometimes.
Oh my God. It's my, I could jack off to it.
Same. Yeah. Under 6 seconds.
That is my favorite fleshlight.
I'm not anti those vibes. I'm pro those vibes. But here's something that I'll admit that's really difficult for me is I sometimes, even on podcasts, I take pride in saying like, oh, I was left behind jealousy. I'm no longer a jealous person because, or for whatever reason, I feel cool saying I'm no longer the jealous girl. But for every boy that I dated since my breakup, even people like I don't necessarily see myself with long term, the intel that I have done, and I mean hours and hours, pages of pages, like you don't think I know his like third cousin from Virginia? You're wrong.
And happy graduation.
and I will never, and this person will never ever know. They can look at me and be like, Khalyla, she is so securely attached. If anything, maybe even slightly avoidant. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm the most anxious person.
Attached.
I know, but it's like I do this and I'm like, how embarrassing it is that I'm 38 and I have this deep burning. I am.
There's no shame and embarrassment in this because the fact that
you doctor.
The fact that you girls do this, I do this, this is biological. This is not us. This is not our fault that we do this. I'm not taking responsibility.
Men are hunters, we are gatherers.
We're gathering facts.
We're gathering information. We can no longer gather berries.
Ooh, you're correct because this is why women love like Dr. Pimple Popper stuff and men are like repulsed by it.
Absolutely. I love
because we have, I guess, been grooming our partners and our children throughout the history of time. So like 95%, I think, or something really, really high statistic of people that watch Dr. Pimple Popper are all women because we like to fucking groom and we like to gather and we like to do these things. But I wanted to ask you guys that there's this study that basically says that when men look at idealized photos of women, they can become less attracted to their partner versus women who can look at the same idealized photos of men and not be any less satisfied with their partner. And so it's like, for the longest time, I was just like, oh, I'm secure. I don't care if he likes another woman's picture on Instagram. But I'm like, now that I read this, I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong.
I think men are so stupid that they think that shit is real. It's like insane to me that like they will see that. First of all, like even I was just talking about this with one of my friends. He was like, I'm like, who is that? And he's like, oh, this girl I follow. And I'm like, does she follow you back? And he's like, no. And I'm like, have a little pride. Ew. And he's like, I don't care. And I'm like, you fucking care. You fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, kill me. But I feel like with men too, it's like, it's just a different brain. And I truly, like, if we watch celebrity stuff or whatever. But like, he's hot. I wonder if I would ever hook up with him if I was in a room with him or I got the chance, whatever. I think men truly believe that they could fuck fucking Emrata. I think they really do.
Why do they though? Because this came up earlier in this conversation where the guy thought you were hitting on him because you hugged him. Why have I had nice long conversations with men in my business and then I later hear, oh, so-and-so said he could fuck you if you wanted to? I'm like, because I talked to him? Why? Why do they think that they can? Why?
Well, I think, you know, brain development in the womb is still a mystery. And maybe...
Wait, they differentiate a little later. Boys do sexually, right? So like everything is a girl until the cell like differentiates into... So maybe they're a little bit later.
I think men they make fun of women, but nobody has more hot girl delusion than men.
Yes.
Nobody has more hot men. What's that saying? When you feel imposter syndrome, pretend you're a white mediocre man. Are you fucking kidding me? Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama said that she's met a lot of these people who are CEOs and run these huge companies, and they're not very smart men. But they just think that they are. There's that quote that like 80% of the job is just showing up. I tell it to myself all the time when I'm like, man, I'm fucking tired, but 80% is just showing up. And I think that they really truly believe that they have big dicks and they have great personalities and their hair is full. They really do. They believe it. And you know what? And if not, they're like, fuck it, I'll just go to Turkey. Good for you. Go to Turkey.
That's what I just went down a rabbit hole of men getting all the FUE hair transplants in Turkey. And like you see like a plane full of...
Can I tell you something about that? Why are you as a man posting all of your little scabs on TikTok? Don't take me through that journey.
Wait, I didn't get the same.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Why? He's like, oh, so this is day 3. I'm like this. Put it away.
This is them shampooing their scabs off.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Put it away. Why are you as a man vlogging your hair transplant? Put it away. I don't need to see that. My friend Dason says something. Bring back shame and bring back secrets.
I believe in that. That I can stand by. I think there is like a level of shame we ought to bring back, just universally.
And then they're shampooing and he's like, stop it. Stop it. Why are you like this? Oh my God. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts at things that men will do.
I lately have been seeing a lot of like, and I know this is just me being a bitch, whatever, and I don't know.
Go on.
I have a problem that it's projecting in some form, but I've been seeing guys I know, like, because I follow a lot of hot girls, so I'm part of the problem. But
because you are a hot girl.
Thank you. And it's studying. I'm doing my work, my job. And I will see guys we know liking all the photos, and it just makes me so sick and sad. I'm just like, what are you doing? Ew.
Do you know that we can see you?
What is this a move you're making?
I have to hold the mic like this.
Do you think that she's gonna look and see through all the guys that like it? I don't know.
Oh my God, this guy was at the Comedy Cellar. I should follow him back. Let me message him. No, that's never gonna fucking happen, Brian. It's
always Brian.
Come on, Brian, get it together, Brian.
People still name their kids Brian.
Absolutely, they do.
They do, don't they?
Absolutely, they do.
I dated a Brian.
How was it?
It was good.
Well, they're not together anymore.
You know, the guy who sexually assaulted me, Brian.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, fuck all Brians.
Like sometimes I'm like, fuck men. And I look at my brother and I'm like, when the gender war, I'll miss you. But like you're a good dude.
Okay, I have my last question, which is so fun.
I have a question for you.
Great. Okay, this is so cheesy, but I have this belief that successful people are successful because they have a why deep inside them. They have a purpose. What is your why and your purpose? Like, what do you make people laugh, share who you are? Do you have that? Do you know what that is? Like, what are you out here getting out of bed, making the videos, sharing with the world? What's your why for all that?
I think one of it is, I'm first generation to an immigrant family, so it's like pride. Somebody the other day was like, are you a capitalist? I'm like, I have to be. What are you talking about? I think it's like I really want my family to be proud of me, but they already are. Like, I could literally be the best newspaper tosser in town and my mom would be like, you know? So they don't ask a lot of me. They just want me to be okay. And I think a lot of people don't understand that like your parents just want you to be okay. Like they don't need that much from you. Alas, you'll see me on the cover of Forbes. And I'll be like, I think that's one. Two, I want to show people there was a long time in history where being a fucking asshole was really profitable. And I think a big part of me wants to show people how being nice and funny is so easy and it works. You know what I mean? And then three, I think it probably like the biggest one is that I know I can do it. So I want to do it. And I think I deserve to do what I want to do. I know I can do it. Like there are people who think like if I got the opportunity, I hope I don't fuck it up. And for me, it's different. I'm like, well, how can I get this opportunity? Because I can do this. You know what I mean?
Kill it.
And I'll kill it. Yeah, I know that. So there are lots of places in my life where I'm not confident. Yeah, like of course, you know. I was telling people today I have that one nipple hair. No matter you shave your nipples one time. Great.
That's all you have is one.
She makes the other ones look puny. It's like Godzilla versus baby goats. All right, it's just one. And then like there's a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Like
because Esther and I are like notorious hairy nipple babies.
I'm like the winner.
Guys,
I take it all.
My father's Brazilian. I have Portuguese blood. My pubes are like Bermuda shorts if I let them. All right? Let's not.
You're in good company.
Like my knuckles, if I let them, they go. No, my toes. Robin Williams is not. May you rest in peace. I love you, Robin. But like, I think that's one thing for me that I'm just like, there was so long that people convinced me that I couldn't do it, or I couldn't do it without them, or they convinced me that it was embarrassing. But now that I know that I can do it, why wouldn't I want to do all of it? I'd rather try and embarrass myself than ever look at somebody. I was watching this like Inside the Actors Studio with Jay Leno. I didn't know it was at Pace University, but basically at the end of this presentation, when they talk about, you know, like the milestones in this person's career, you ask the audience questions and they're all in drama, right? They're all like drama students. And this one kid was like, how do I get to do what you want to do? And Jay Leno was like, I used to watch this as like a kid, you know, but I remember what I was wearing when I was watching this. He said, be honest with me. He's like, stand up. And the kid stands up. He's like, be honest with me. Do you think that you could do my job better than me? And the guy's like, I don't, you know, like, I don't know. We're different. And he's like, if you don't think you can do your job better than me, then you won't get my job. Because why would you get my job if you're not better than me? And the guy was like, okay, yeah, I could do your job better than you. And he was like, and that's how you'll know you'll make it. And if you always keep that, you'll keep going. So while I look at people, I mean, I'm not looking at Meryl Streep and being like, amateur, no. But I look at people and I see opportunities that I want, and I know that I could do it better. And that's it. It doesn't mean the person's shit. It just means that I'm better. No, it just means that I want that. And if I continue thinking that way, and the gratification of working really hard for something and getting it is really wonderful. And I want that for everybody, you know, whether it be a financial goal, a personal goal, you know, whatever it is. Maybe it's saving up your money so you can go to Thailand. Like being on that plane, like right now, I feel like I'm on that plane. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get over there, and I'm enjoying it. So
I'm so inspired. I love you. That's a beautiful why.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful why. Now it makes me question my own why. I'm like, woo. That is.
But our whys are constantly changing. Our whys are always
that is true.
My mother's why was not for my kids when she didn't have kids.
Right.
So give yourself some grace, you know?
Yeah. My only why is like to make enough money so I can get Asian slumber twice a year.
I thought you meant Asian lumber. And I said, is there a wood? Is there a wood?
There is. So the type of lumber that we export, there's mahogany.
Oh my God.
There's Nara. We have a lot of rubber trees, that kind of lumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that sap, baby.
Yeah. Deforestation is real.
Well, my friend was on a debate team and they were talking about euthanasia. And then somebody brought up euthanasia. And she was like, what do teens in Asia have anything to do with this? It was so crazy. But yeah, that's it.
Wait, I want to end with what we started with, but I don't think we were recording, which is like, we're talking about kink shaming,
yes.
All of these things. And, you know, my belief is that your kink and whatever it is that gets you off is in a completely different compartment in your brain than your morality, your values, and like who your character is as a person. Like I don't think one touches the other. So it's like, for instance, like my example is always like, you know, I was diddled as a kid, like by, you know, a family member, say for instance, but like my kink, or I'm saying I'm not opposed to
Age play?
like,
Because that's fucking weird.
when no, I'm not age play, but I'm not opposed to whatever role play. Let's suppose like if there is like you know, mildly rapey, whatever. Like it doesn't, that part of my brain doesn't connect to the other part of my brain. And so it's in the spirit of play. But you're saying you think sometimes there's a through line.
I think people sometimes use the excuse of kink when it is not a kink. I mean, I'm going to bring up communism, but I think a lot of people, like in Miami, for example, there's a lot of Latin American trauma from surrounding islands and countries. Like there's a reason there's a lot of Haitian people. There's a reason there's a lot of Cuban people. There's a reason there's a lot of Venezuelan people. And these dictators use the veil of communism. So now if they hear the word communism or socialism, they think about the homes that they had to leave because of this. You know what I mean? And it's really totalitarian dictatorship, whatever, you know what I mean? And I feel like people use a lot of blanket terms to kind of lure people in. And I feel like we used TW, Army Hammer, as like he said that like an aggressive, like really rough sex was like his kink. But it turned out that he got off on seeing women in terrible pain.
Dude.
And the BDSM community we talked about came out and was like, that is not a kink, because the whole BDSM community, remember I said our community, and I'm like, I'm talking for them, I'm not in the BDSM community. Literally rubbing noses is foreplay for me. But like they said you know, like the whole thing about BDSM is consent. That's safe words are important.
Right.
And Army Hammer would say like these women would come out and be like, I would say our safe word, and he would put his hand over my mouth. So the word kink to me is like, I had one boyfriend that he had like a mommy kink, so I would talk to him in baby voice. And I didn't like it, but he loved it. You know what I mean? And so I think that's like a kink, and I don't think I don't think he wants to fuck his mom. You know what I mean?
Right.
Seeing women in pain and making them uncomfortable
that's not a kink. That's not a fucking kink.
Like a kink is like a kink, like I'm the little maid from Germany. Hello, I'm new here. I don't know anybody. Or like, you know what I mean? Like when you go to the bar and you're like, what do you do? I could never fucking do that.
Dude, my ex and I,
yeah,
we would do role play, and he would be like an aristocrat and I would be a shoemaker. Like this is
so cute. It's why we're friends. No, I'm talking about like meet me at the bar and like exactly. I'm a mistress. If my husband came up to me and was like, hey, girl, I'd be like, you're married. You know what I mean? So what did you like about her, you bitch? And my husband would be like, it's you. But whatever. I think when it comes to role play and stuff like that, like that's so fun. My friend was talking to me about how she did one where it was like the plumber and the housewife. Like that's fun. You know what I mean? But if it's like, hey, can you cut off a piece of your thigh and watch me eat it? Like, what if I was a shoe cobbler and you were the aristocrat? Like that's fucking different. Or like even like sub and you want to put a dog collar on me? That's cool.
And I really like being treated like a dog, both sexually and platonically.
I want you to hug more. I want you to hug more. My kink is being loved in return. And monogamy. That's my special.
Yeah, because you get intimacy boners.
Yeah. What's wrong with missionary?
Oh my God, missionary is my favorite of all time. I cannot. I'm sorry. There's a reason why it is the go-to, because you know, like when you're
those
younger,
missionaries had something going. They were on.
They did. Yeah. Like, you know, when you're younger and you take pride and you're like, yeah, we did it this way and that way and that way. It's like,
I want to keep my legs on the bed, bro.
Thank you. My back rested.
Girl, get the fuck out of my house. You want my, what the fuck? No. Oh, can we do the sexy otter? Get the fuck out of my house. I'll see myself out. No, I agree. Let's keep it simple. And also in relationships, I love when you get to the place where you're just like, what are you doing? After doggy, I get on top. You're mixing up the fucking order. You know what we do here. Come on. What are you talking about? You know, but at the end of the day, like, sex is so intimate, and like the idea of like role playing should be fun, and BDSM and like all that stuff. The whole point of all of this, of existing, it should be fun. Some parts fucking suck. Yes, some parts fucking suck. But healing is fun too, you know, like doing the fucking hot cups and meditation and going to a fucking infrared sauna. That's rock and roll. I love healing. Yoga, opening my hips, Pilates, amazing, you know, doing drugs, rock and roll. We love healing, you know what I mean? But the whole point is like to have a good time. And if at any point during sex, I'm like, this is scary, I don't want to do this, I'm not having a good time, I'm drier than a motherfucker, you know what I mean? His belly isn't hitting my clit. I don't. Then I'm not in for it. And if a vibrator makes me do it,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We don't need you.
there's a inventor somewhere that made that for me. Who am I to insult them by not using their technology?
You're right. But what if that, you know, relegates your fingers and it, you know, deems them useless? You can no longer come from your own hands. That's my biggest fear.
What a time to be alive. You always have access to an outlet. Mm-hmm. What a time.
And also they figured out their voltages. So internationally, because before you'd have to travel to different countries, you'd have to bring the adapter.
Yeah.
Because it would be like 110 and 220. And if you were to plug it in the wrong, it would just explode, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, your vibrators, your speakers.
And now it's not like that.
Philippines.
No, it's not like that.
No, it's not like that.
They talking like off the Mayflower, a pilgrim. I don't get it.
I'll be honest, I do travel with two. I always have a backup vibrator.
If I don't travel with a vibrator, I Postmates one.
Well, that's so smart.
I have a lot of stress. Mommy needs her de-stressor.
Is it ever awkward when the guy brings it and he knows what he's bringing you?
I look at the ground. I go, thanks so much.
Tefi, thank you so much for being the most.
I have a question for you before we go.
Yes.
Do you pay for those paparazzi shots? I think they're incredible.
Oh, they are. I don't pay because they're my fiance. And he's great at it. And if you ever want.
It's incredible. I was like, dude, these people on her dick hole, they are nonstop. Let the woman walk her dog. They are incredible.
Please if you ever want to get some, he's very good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very good at watching me from afar.
And he's free.
I'll pay him. You pay your friends. If you don't pay your friends, who will?
You're not paying him.
Dave is the best.
Yeah.
He really
I
is.
love him.
Are you going to take his last name?
I already did on Instagram.
King?
Yeah.
His name is Dave King?
Yeah.
He's your king?
Yeah.
It's incredible. One can really pray for something like that.
I know. With the last name Pavitsky my whole life, I really deserve this.
Esther King sounds fucking massive too, like huge star. Like it has like Marilyn Monroe energy.
Oh my God, I love you. That coming from you is very meaningful.
Did you hear what Bobby said on Tiger Belly on our podcast?
No.
He was like, it's bullshit that Esther took Dave's name. She shouldn't be allowed unless they get married.
Oh, wow.
I'll send you the clip.
Oh, wow. I guess he doesn't make the rules. Wah, wah, wah.
Dave is mad too. I don't care. It's a better name. It's a rebrand.
Wait, so you're not married? You took his name regardless? You just had a name change?
We've been together for 10 years. I only changed it online. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any paperwork.
How long ago was his bachelor party?
It was 5 years ago. We might get married this fall. There's actually been talks. We have there might be a wedding. We've been at a standstill for a while.
You just came home one day and you're like, I changed my name. You're beyond iconic. What if I was just like, Tefi Momoa? Take my name.
Why not? What's to stop you? I mean, like, legally.
Jason's legal team. Jason's legal team. Then
I don't think he can.
And if I would change my...
I talk about this in my stand-up. I'm like, ladies, if you like a guy,
just change your name.
Take the name. Show him you're serious.
Dude, I came in,
His bachelor party was 5 years ago. The sun has gone around the planet 5 times since he celebrated his bachelor.
And I showed up. Uninvited. That almost slowed things down. As well.
Why did you do that?
I thought he would like it. I thought I was surprising him and it was going to be fun, and it wasn't.
Have you ever met a man? Imagine if I was on my bachelorette and my dude showed up, all the women would start audibly booing.
Where can people, at Hello Tefi, where else are we finding you these days?
I always say, in your tree.
Thank you so much.
And hello Tefi across the world.
Across all borders. We love her. We need her.
Across all borders.
She's a part of the Trash Tuesday family.
TTT, Trash Tuesday Tef.
She is going to open a school one day. I will be the first student to sign up. Tefi, thank you so much. And we will see you guys next week with a brand new episode.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.